Check, check, check. 1, 2. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're back on the Hohner YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. It's 7 p.m. here in Germany, and this is another episode of the Hohner Live. And I'm excited about today's guest. We're just starting to get to know each other again after 10 years. We were just thinking about our first time meeting up at the World Harmonica Festival, probably in 2013. And right now he's located in Paris. So please welcome with me Olivier Ker Ourio. Give him a big hand. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Konstantin, for your invitation. I'm very delighted, very happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time to do this today. This is episode 97, which is crazy. And it's good to see you after 10 years. And we were just talking about that pretty much exactly 10 years ago. I think the harmonica festivals always happen in October, November too, right? In Crossing.
Yeah, sounds familiar, like November or something, yeah.
Yeah, so back then, did you play there with your own band, or were you teaching only?
I think I was playing, I played a gig in the main room. Maybe I played a duet concert with a pianist, and then I was giving some kind of a chromatic masterclass during the week. And also were sometimes jamming with the guys in this bar or club. I don't remember exactly the name of it, but I was there.
Yeah, and there was also my first time at the World Harmonica Festival, and I played there too.
Mm-hmm.
But I also remember, getting an autograph from you. Hohner had this, or they still have this kind of like a metal plate where it says like "Have fun and play harmonica," something like that. Like an old timey thing where like kids are sitting behind this giant harmonica.
Okay.
And you put your name on it, and it's still hanging around at my parents' place.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm happy to have contributed in a way.
So you played a duo concert back then, probably, right?
Yes, I played a duet concert. I found it. It was maybe for the logistics or organization. It was maybe too much to bring my full band. And I really like, as I was telling you before this started, I really like playing the duet concert. This is what I'm doing a lot right now. I'm just in the middle of a Belgium tour, and I'm performing concerts in sort of a tribute to Toots Thielemans. And I'm playing with this great Belgian pianist, Yvan Paduard, who was a Toots Thielemans pianist for 2 years, and he played over 40 concerts with him. Yeah. So, he really knows Toots very well, and I also knew Toots quite well. So, it's a good way to celebrate him, and especially because last year was his 100th anniversary, right?
Oh, yeah, that's probably the reason they put up that harmonica. Because that's what I saw on Facebook today. Like, probably in the middle of the city, like in Brussels, they put up a harmonica right in front of like a subway station, whatever, to remind of Toots. And it looks really good. And it has like some musical notes on top and stuff. Yeah. I wonder if I can find that again. I'm not sure. But it looks good.
In next week, I'm performing in his home village, La Hulpe, and it's called Espace Toots Thielemans. So it's like the hall of Toots Thielemans, and I will be playing a concert for him. Probably will see his wife and some people that used to know him very well. So that's. It's very emotional to play for him. I was very lucky that when I was a beginner musician at a much younger age than I am today, Toots was very friendly with me and very encouraging and helping. And we developed this relationship. And I would send him my music. He would call me back and give me some input, some feedback.
Yeah.
And he was always very nice with me. Even welcome me on stage with him, and which he really didn't have to do. I remember also maybe more than 20 years ago now, back in 2000, I recorded an album of mine, and I wanted to have him on one song, having this dialogue with me, and he agreed. And so he came to the studio and we recorded together. So, I have really great memories with him. He was a real benevolent force,
Yeah, but was he like the first harmonica player you ever heard, or who was that?
My first harmonica player that I heard was my dad.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because my dad is a chromatic harmonica player.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, the instrument would be there laying on the table. I would take it and I would just play by ear. It's not until I was in my early 20s that I understood that if I wanted to play seriously, I should learn it seriously and learn everything about music and theory, improvisation, everything.
I see. Wow, yeah, that's interesting that it actually comes from your family.
Definitely, my dad is a harmonica player.
So that was chromatic harmonica immediately, or did you ever touch the diatonic?
So I touched it afterwards, but it was from the start, it was chromatic from the start. And since I've always wanted to play jazz and improvisation music, I've always focused on the chromatic. That doesn't mean that I cannot admire some great diatonic players. I played it a little bit, but I had so much work to do on this one that I decided I just couldn't pursue two goals at the same time. Also, I wanted to play jazz, and even though you can play jazz on a diatonic harp, it felt more natural to me to stick to the chromatic.
I see. Yeah. Let me see. I can show you this little harmonica they put up here.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully I will see it very soon, for real.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Okay, it even has 12 holes. I mean, sometimes they get that wrong, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just I just saw that today.
So do you often have guests who play the chromatic harmonica, or your guests are more into diatonic?
Oh, definitely. We got a lot of chromatic players here. Yeah.
You do? Great.
I mean, I'm like sometimes flirting with a chromatic harmonica too, you know?
Oh, you do? Okay.
Just like, yeah, there are just scenarios where the sound is just a better fit. In some pop contexts, some people want to have the Stevie Wonder sound, for example.
Yes.
And some R&B soul stuff where I also feel, the sound is just a better match for that musical world. And yeah, sometimes even in classical. Like I remember playing some slow, nice, beautiful classical piece. I had to learn it for a concert, which was the Schubert Serenade.
Okay.
Probably. And it had some key changes, and I just couldn't find the right a diatonic harmonica where it was really like, I like how it sounds.
I understand.
And then I did it on the chromatic.
Okay. Well,
which is a challenge for me to like do that mind game and like think of that structure, rethink the structure of the instrument, you know?
Of course. I mean, even though they are both called harmonicas, well, they have. I think they have a totally different approach, and especially with the slide and.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that comes on top. Like the coordination thing with the slide, you know.
Yes.
And it was always it's getting better for me because I'm playing sometimes a little more and more chromatic, but just like for fun, you know. But in the beginning, the first pieces I had to play on the chromatic, it was like hard for me to visualize myself doing it and trying to visualize me pressing the slide while playing the right notes and stuff. Like basically, just
coordination.
Like, practicing in my mind. So, how about you? Like, what do you see in your mind while playing harmonica? And do you ever practice in your mind?
Thank you very much for asking that question, because I think it's a very important one. I think whatever you play on this instrument, of course, you don't see anything. It's in your mouth. So I think it's very helpful if you have some kind of visualization of the instrument. Yeah. So the way I see my instrument would be like in the space in front of me, I would have some kind of keyboard with the notes. So basically what I see is this rectangle, and I see those 4 lines like this, and then every hole, so the 12 holes. And then the logic, the way I memorize it, which is not a rule, anyone could do it differently. Yeah. But my way of seeing is to put the blow note first, then the blow note with the slide second, then the draw note, and then the draw note with the slide. So for me, if I play C, C sharp, D, D sharp, that's going to be C, C sharp, D, D sharp. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to the next one. That's going to be E. Then it's going to be E sharp or F. Then it's going to be the natural F. Then this F sharp, and then going to the next. That's the way I see it. So everything that I play on the harmonica, I visualize in space, and anything that I play has some kind of shape. So when I play, it's like a line, it's like a ball moving from one place to another and drawing some kind of line.
Yeah.
And I also, that helped me in my practice, because whenever you're practicing some arpeggios or scales or anything, it helps, like being a guitar player, when you can remember the fingering on the guitar. Well, it helps you to kind of visualize whatever you're playing as having a shape, If I play
that's
something
like basically color by numbers for you.
Yeah. So these are the numbers, and these are the 4 possibilities, like this.
Do you even call that color by numbers? Let me see, because like there's this term. Color by numbers, is that right? Color by number, paint by numbers, kind of. Like, there are some just connecting by numbers. Like there's some books for kids, and you just got the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, and you just got to connect the dots, and then you just paint like an animal or something.
Yes, I know that. Yes. I see what you mean. Yeah.
So is that what you do? Is like going these paths around the instrument?
Well, what I see is, I don't know, if I'm gonna play, let's say I'm playing a phrase that would be like. So for me, this is gonna be. Da, 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 da.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay.
You see, it has a shape. If I go, it has. I see it in space. I can show you the shape immediately.
Yeah.
Of course, that doesn't prevent you from learning the notes and the theory and everything. But it just helps to visualize what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's super important for harmonica. Babak is tuning in. Raymond too, yeah. Both amazing chromatic players. Let us know, how do you visualize your playing? Do you do it similarly, or do you have another approach? Babak is also asking a question. How often do you tune your instruments?
Oh, well, when the instrument is doing good, I don't do anything. Whenever after a concert, if I feel that one note is the pitch is going a little bit down, then if it's not too much, then I can do it myself.
Yeah.
And if not, whenever the note goes down, the pitch is too bad and there's nothing you can do anymore, I just send it back to my personal customizer. His name is Michael Devino. So I don't know if you see here, it's
Harmonical.
maybe harmonical, yeah. This harmonica I received by the post office today, sent by Michael Devino.
Okay.
Every time I do some tours, and some harmonica gets destroyed, and
So in
whenever I have
between, you
time,
can send them in, yeah.
I send him everything. And this morning I got 4 new ones that he fixed for me,
Oh, wow.
right before going to the next concert tomorrow. So I'm lucky.
So how many instruments do you usually carry to your shows?
Well, normally I should need only one, but I have several copies of this one, maybe like 5 or 6, just in case. Offered me to endorse Hohner already 25 years ago.
Okay.
So I've been endorsing Hohner for 25 years. Always been very faithful to them, and even though I can be interested in the new harmonicas that are being created and manufactured right now, and some of them can be really good instruments, I tend to stick to that Hohner sound that I've always liked.
Yeah.
Advertising.
Yeah, that's good. So do you sometimes try the newer models, like?
Yes, I've tried lots of them. I've tried lots of Suzukis also, but trying is not performing on stage. I've always been attached to this Hohner sound, and as I said, even though you can find lots of good quality instruments nowadays in every brand, for some reason I just like this airness.
Yeah.
See, I'm in
Yeah,
love
that's what I remember
with the
that
sound.
I loved about your playing too, back then, and the CD you had out back then was called, I gotta remember, I don't know. That was 2011.
Maybe Magic Tree,
Yeah, exactly.
a black CD maybe.
So that was the CD that I got at the World Harmonica Festival, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I loved that airy tone, and there was like kind of similar to what I loved on the diatonic too, which is like Carlos El Junco has this airy tone too, which is super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to hear the air in the sound, and also there's some kind of softness that I like about it, and the trebles are. See, it's very clear, like crystal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a special sound, and you definitely notice that as a different instrument. Like the 2 chromatics I have, I got this CX12 Jazz,
CX12,
which
I
is
know
a completely different sound.
I have one.
Yeah. And I think Hohner gave me this when became an endorsee, like in 2012, 11 or something. So this is 10 years old. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good. Especially in terms of maintenance, it's very easy.
Yeah, that's very useful too. And I just got this, just like the new beginner model, they got all the expression, you know?
Okay, yes.
So
okay.
That's the
So
other, that's another sound.
Are you happy about it?
Oh yeah. But I feel like I use this one more often because it's
Can you play for me?
louder. Man, I'm not a chromatic player, you know that, right?
Who cares?
I like to play in C minor. Yeah, you can hear that wind saver, right? C minor is a good key. So that's probably a good question also for the diatonic players out there. And me included, like, of course, you got some odd note combinations on the chromatic, just as you do on the diatonic, which would be playing a bend and then an overblow on a different hole that's 2 holes above or whatever.
Woo,
and on the chromatic, for me, that would be, I don't know, playing a fast switch between a note with a slide in and one with a slide out. So how would you practice that?
Well, I think,
like, for example, just playing just F sharp G.
so, some things are, of course, some things are very easy. G and G sharp.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, I think we should try and use the harmonica for what it has to offer to us. So, of course, there are things that are very difficult to do, and that depends on the technique and the amount of practice you spend to achieve some result. But I also think that it's good to use whatever facility the instrument gives you. Also, that's some of the things you learn listening to Toots, for example. It's exploring every little group of notes that you can do in a fast way, and combine maybe those sequences together in a phrase that you are developing. For example, playing in A. So there is a succession of draw, blow this, release, and blow again. So that's difficult to do.
Yeah.
If you do it in A flat, it's because it's all draw and all slide. So I think that's one aspect that we should, how can I say, explore on the harmonica, is whatever facility it can give you and integrate it into a longer phrase when you're playing. See, those little section of phrase is that some things can be very fluid.
Yeah.
If you really, so look for fluidity. That's the main goal for me.
Nice.
In my opinion, and really make the harmonica sound like everything can be very fluid when it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the same way about the diatonic, you know? I don't want to showcase 2 overblows and 1 overdraw after each other, and yeah, they sound they don't sound as good as I like them to sound according to my taste, you know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I practice that stuff, but I don't present it on stage, basically, you know.
And you know, whatever we do, we're supposed to be musicians and play music. And music is also about the sound of a person. It's also about the emotions and that you can get. So, I mean, we can talk technique for 2 hours. I don't mind. I love it. But
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, uh, it's also the choice of notes. It's also the intensity and the emotion, the expression you put in there. You know, everybody has their own sound, and I think that the goal for everyone is to find their own signature and own voice. We are like singers, so we should find our way. That was, by the way, the main advice that Toots Thielemans gave me when I was a young man.
Yeah.
He said, you know, you already have your own personality, you have your own way of sounding, making the harmonica sound, your way of phrasing, and he said basically the goal of your life is to keep digging in your own direction and follow that path of yours that is unique, that is different from the next guy and the next guy, and this is the beauty of it, because then it's not about comparing oneself to another. It's about finding your own way and your own voice. And this advice has never left me for all those years.
Oh yeah. Totally. I just also I noticed that, of course, like here's like also a difference of like the distance where the
Yes.
slide is traveling, you know.
Yes.
So this is a little further, this is a little less.
Oh, of course. I mean, this model that I'm playing is very old. I'm not always happy with this slide, and I wish Hohner would develop a chromatic harmonica, but with like they did, for example, on the expression, the one you showed me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they did quite a nice embouchure, quite a nice slide. Then I'm not crazy about the sound of the instrument, so I would love to hear that sound on a newer model. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? With a better slide, and then life would be a paradise.
Yeah. But yeah, there's this thing that I even do with my diatonic students, just like practicing the three bends, which is like the B section of Over the Rainbow. I mean, if we would do that in A, like, then you would have to practice that, right? Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that would
It's
be. Oh yeah, it would be an E harmonica on the diatonic. I like to play it in 12. That's very high. The bends sound a little, you know. But it's a good one to practice these bands on the diatonic and maybe the sliding stuff on the chromatic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Babak asks, what made you start harmonica? But we did talk about it, right?
Yes, we did. I can summarize it very quickly. My dad would play harmonica when I was a child, and then when I became a young adult, I decided I wanted to be a jazz musician on the chromatic harmonica, and that's it.
Yeah. So, your harmonicas are tuned to. Do you tune to 442, 441, or?
That's my secret.
Okay.
No. There's no secret. Actually, for the last years, I've been tuning to 4/4/3,
Okay. Yeah.
so that I'm never in trouble with whatever piano I'm playing with. Because when I was much younger, I was very frustrated sometimes when you get on stage and you're playing with the pianist. The piano is 4/4/2, and you have this regular harmonica from the factory, and you just sound too low.
Yeah.
I was very frustrated. So now it's 4/4/3, my instruments, and then if I need to adjust, I'm gonna go.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see, and then I just try to really blend in with the tuning of the piano, and I'm fine. But as one should know on the harmonica, you should have the highest tuning possible, because then you can always bend.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to go up.
Same with the diatonic. Yeah, it's better to have like higher tuning. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay.
Because like you will definitely notice as soon as whatever. I started to notice extremely starting to play with orchestras, and then maybe you got a compromised tuning, and then you play a 5/4 blow on the diatonic, and it's way too low, or the 7/0 draw.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I happen to play with the symphonic orchestra sometimes, and you don't want to sound too low. So it's always better to be tuned a little bit higher. But then not too high, because then you sound too high. But if I have to choose, I prefer sounding too high than too low.
Okay.
Some compromise,
Yeah, I think Philip Jers, he did like a nice comparison of these. I think it was just a 1 hertz difference.
Mm-hmm.
But you could feel it.
Of course. I mean, anyone who hears that something is too low, and I hate it when I'm too low.
Yeah. But in that case, like the lower one was like, it was perfectly in tune, and the other one just like shined a little brighter, like it was a little more on top. It actually felt like that, as if it was like a mixing thing by a sound engineer, It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
So how do you go about playing live then? Like, what's your setup? Do you play into a specific microphone? Do you like to hold the harmonic, or like rather the microphone in your hands, or do you just stand in front of?
So on stage, I always use the hand mic. In the studio, I always use the hand mic, but sometimes the sound engineers, they like to add something, in the room, and use just a little bit of it. But mainly, I use the hand mic because of the roundness of the sound, So the sound is like this full body, And that's it. My mic is. You want to know whatever mic I use?
Everybody wants to know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was so interesting. I use an M88.
Okay.
By Bayer, dynamic, and it works very well. And for many years, when I was much younger, I would use the SM58. But the SM58 is okay, but it's nothing special about this mic. I don't know. I like the M88. I've been using it on recording sessions on stage for many years now. My microphone is black, but I've been using it so much that all the paint has gone away, and now it's like gold and black,
Special edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Howard Levy plays handheld, he also uses the M88.
Ah, okay. So sounds like a good mic.
Yeah.
I mean, this mic is even used for bass drums, for the bass drum.
Okay.
I suppose that it gives you some kind of, in the low medium you have some kind of little bit larger body,
Yeah,
and so I like that. Yeah,
that's good for harmonica. Yeah.
yeah. Since the instrument is already so high, it goes so high in the treble register.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like some harmonica players aren't too aware of that, but there's like so much you can do about making the instrument sound more pleasant, you know?
Of course, the then there is the equalization that you can use also, uh, some reverb that can be very nice. All depends on your taste, whatever kind of music you want to play. But that's what I use mainly. Yes.
Yeah.
So no special effect or nothing special. Just try to make my own sound by myself, and then make the rest of the chain be easy.
Yeah, I have the tendency to do that more and more too. Because like in the beginning I was also like I got interested in guitar pedals, and then I played handheld through effects and octave pedal, and I was doing crazy stuff with it. And harmonizer and
Yeah, well, it's good. It's all good. There was a time when I was using an octave pedal also.
yeah.
Is to get this like low register, but on a 3 octave, on a 12-hole harmonica. Yeah, I have lots of 16 holes on the chromatic, but I'm not crazy about the sound. So I've always stick to that. I can use the 4 octave, the 16 hole in a if needed on a recording.
Yeah.
For example, instead of using the 16 hole, I have one like this, but 1 octave down.
I see.
Is it called the tenor or the
Yeah,
baritone?
probably.
I don't know. Whatever. And why? So it's still 3 octaves, but it's all the way 1 octave down. Why? Because of the sound. It's always the sound that dictates, if I have to love the sound of the instrument that I'm playing, and if not, I'm not interested. That's all.
Yeah. So playing handheld on stage all the time,
Yes.
do you also practice with the microphone in your hand?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Whenever I practice at home, I'm telling you, I'm in Paris in my apartment. I'm sitting on my couch like I'm right now, and I'm going. That's all. I'm just practicing. When I was younger, I was really practicing those scales and arpeggios and lots of things. I still do from time to time, but less than before. Now, when I practice, it's not really practicing. It's more feeling free and really playing anything that comes to mind without any preconceived ideas. And sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I never played this like this before, so this is new. Or, oh, I just made a mistake, but that mistake created that situation. Oh, I like that situation. Oh, let's explore that for a while. It's not really a practice, as you would say, like practicing your instrument 8 hours a day.
Okay.
But there was a time in my life when I was very, very active doing that. Now I like it's as I said, I like to try to keep it fun.
So what's your routine then nowadays? Like if you aren't on tour, like what does a day look like in the life of Olivier Ker Ourio?
Oh, coffee is very important. Coffee is very important. Sometimes what I like doing also with the harmonica is like I'm watching some kind of documentary or some not movie, because on a movie I want to be able to focus, but sometimes on some kind of documentary, I'm just playing the harmonica with whatever music I hear that comes out of the documentary, just improvising like this. Or everything that I've been playing for you tonight is just totally, there's nothing practiced. It's just whatever I hear at the moment. And so my days are different. Whenever I'm touring, then it's traveling. You know how it is. Traveling, getting to the venue,
Waiting.
all the waiting, man, all the exhaustion of
Yeah.
traveling, and then the sound check and blah blah blah, and then it's time to play, and then time to play is this release of this of all this waiting and traveling, this sharing with the people, and but the difference maybe is I'm already quite old. I mean, compared to you, for example, I'm 59 years old. I've been playing this instrument for 40 years or maybe, and how can I say? It's not you don't have the same goals at certain ages. I want to keep it fresh. There are days when I don't touch the harmonica at
Yeah.
all, and then suddenly I'm hungry for it, you know. And also, my practice time is usually, for example, defined by whatever concert I'm going to have to play. Let's imagine I have a concert and I have all this music. Okay, then I'm going to focus on that because this is my next concert.
Yeah.
And but then the practice can be practicing the notes, but I can also hear the chords of this song in my head and play on it without any backtrack or without anything.
Yeah.
And you see?
Yeah, you kind of answered the next thing I was thinking about. Like,
Yes?
what kind of, still keeps you interested in the harmonica? Like, why are you still fascinated? Why do you still play after so many years, basically, you know?
Oh, because when you play, I feel like playing a concert is something that washes my whole being from the inside. It's like a refresh of my whole being. And playing is like, it's not about me playing. Playing is, there is a flow that starts, you just let go and you just follow this flow. And so it's not about thinking, it's being fully attentive to the moment. Maybe also because I'm into jazz and improvising, so everything I have to really open my ears. What is the pianist playing? What is he offering me?
Yeah.
At this moment? How am I going to react to whatever color in that chord that I just heard? And this is new every time. So what I love about it is the complete attention to the moment, the complete state of relaxation, and the feeling that I am not the person playing, but feeling that something is is some bigger thing than you is going through you and is vibrating through you and with the audience, and it's this feeling of emptiness, total emptiness, and total 100% on the right now, on the moment right now. in every second. This full attention, listening.
Yeah. Is there anything else in your life that makes you just be in the moment and not thinking about anything else besides music?
I would like to think that whatever happens in music, this full awareness, ideally I would like to have it in every moment of my everyday life.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I mean? And by the way, sorry, some guy is sending me some message. By the way, I like the contrary to the reverse to be true. What I like is that before the concert is like this everyday life, right? And when I was younger, I felt, okay, now is the concert, now is this very special moment, and some kind of
Yeah.
but that's when I was younger. Now, what I love is there is no difference 1 second before the concert and 1 second into the concert. I like being exactly the same person in the same state of mind and go on stage and play like I'm talking to you right now. There's no difference. So being fully present to whatever you do. If that makes any sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, earlier you mentioned playing along to documentaries. I thought that was interesting because I also heard, I think it was Victor Wooten, the bassist, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about that, like just playing along to TV shows, but like muting the audio and playing the actual film music or stuff on top,
Oh, very nice.
Like trying to tell the story on your instrument while watching that TV series.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I found this a very good idea, very inspiring.
Yeah, so
Maybe I
that's
should
where
try.
I heard it from. Yeah.
And I'll try next time.
I never really did that either.
Yeah.
So what kind of music do you listen to nowadays? Do you still like to do that? And is it something, do you listen to harmonica music anymore or not at all?
Oh, so I would say that, of course, being a musician and being focused on playing whatever project you're trying to do, whatever music you want to put out, because I compose music. That takes a lot of time and focus. So, of course, that would probably one could imagine that you wouldn't have time for anything else. And I can say that it's partly true. Whenever I'm focused on my practicing, on composing or anything else, I don't need to listen to any other music. But of course, what I like, and especially in those years when we have social networks, is that every day you open your Facebook line or your Instagram or anything you open, and then there's all those friends and all those people and putting out music. So I hear music every day. I'm not always happy about what I hear, but there are moments when I'm really happy, and but it's not listening to music the way I used to do when I was younger. Nowadays, maybe because of the computer and the networks and the phone and everything, it seems more difficult to just relax and listen to one full CD at a time. I don't know if you can do it.
I don't. No.
Okay, so when I was younger,
I'm like a Spotify fan, and I love to listen to music. I listen to a lot of music. But yeah, I usually don't listen to a whole album.
Yeah, it's very difficult to
I'm just
listen
like a
to.
user of Spotify, and I like
Yeah.
follow the artists that I like, and then I actually make use of that weekly release radar that you get, which is like the music that you probably like, and then I just go through it and I click the songs that I like. I really just like go through quickly.
Okay.
I go in there and I go to 45 seconds to 130, and then I know I want to listen to that, or I don't. That sounds
Oh,
interesting, that doesn't. And then I got all these songs that I hearted, basically, and I listen to them the whole week through. Like, I like to listen on airports and stuff.
okay.
Yeah, but I never listen to whole albums. Yeah.
Yeah, not anymore. When I was younger, I would listen to a full CD, everything in a row. There were moments when I would listen to it a second time in a row,
Yeah.
or maybe more. Or I would listen to it every day for 2 weeks or something like this, until it really soaked in, you know. Uh, but times have changed, you know.
So how do you feel about all the harmonica educational material that's being put out there in the on the internet? Like,
Oh,
you put out stuff yourself,
I did during the
like
COVID
your
time.
own method? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I did. And well, for me, it all happened. I think, first of all, I think it's a good thing that there are all kinds of methods online, and that people who are seeking for some advice may find answers to their questions. But then uh, I think as a musical student myself when I was younger, using a method can be interesting. You can find some guidance, you can find some things, but at the end, it's your own personal work and own personal dedication. And if one person wants to be a musician, they should be literally be hungry for practicing and learning and trying to find out things. So you're like, for me, if you want to be a musician, you should already be some kind of explorer from the start. You see what I mean? And regarding my own method, uh, first of all, I've been asked to do so for many years, and I never did it because I
Yeah.
was more focused on performing on stage. Or composing. That was always my main two goals. But during COVID, like many people, I was stuck at home and I didn't know what to do. So started doing. I felt a sense. I was not so much a big user of the social networks. You know, we are not the same generation. You know, I'm older than you are. I use this Facebook and Instagram and stuff, but maybe not as for example, you have your own show doing this on YouTube, and this is brilliant. I found this beautiful. But for my part, it's only during COVID time that I started doing my first live
Yeah.
on Facebook, and not really to. I didn't want to do a show or anything, but it was more like shit. We're lonely now. We just can't see you anymore. We can't go on stage. We can't do anything. And so that was a way of staying connected with the people. And I realized that I basically what I was doing was some kind of exchanging ideas, and it was a little bit like a class, or I would answer questions to lots of harmonica players from lots of harmonica players, and at the end I realized this was turning into some kind of a general masterclass for the community of harmonica players, and I would give my time to just answer some questions and just feel this connection that I was missing. And it happened so that many guys told me, "Oh, when are you releasing your own method?"
Yeah.
and truly, I never had the time to do it, and it was not my priority in life. And but at this moment, it felt like, oh, okay, maybe if I would start thinking about a method, maybe that would keep my mind busy with the music. And so that's what I did, and I started imagining a method and worked on it for several months and put it online. But I truly, I am not like some harmonica players who really dedicate themselves to creating this online method and having regular students and all these things. I'm not into
Yeah.
that state of mind. It was more for me uh, sharing in a method some experience of a professional musician and for 40 years on, and especially on this instrument, giving some clues, some that's it. That was my state of mind when I did it. So I'm not a huge promoter of it, by the way. You don't see me much shouting to the world how nice my chromatic method is. But I have some people who were interested, and it's good. And from how you say, from le bouche à oreille in French, with the word spread between
Word of
people.
mouth, yeah.
Word of mouth. That's what I was looking for. And so regularly I have people connecting and wanting to register.
Nice, yeah. Are there still harmonica players, or like, yeah, which contemporary harmonica players do you like?
Okay, so let's stick to chromatic players, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very interested in Antonio Serrano.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Philipp Gers. I'm interested in Matthias Heise.
Yeah.
I'm interested in anyone who has like a true voice, and I mean, also being interested. Sometimes you can be interested, but not be really crazy about what you hear, but recognize talent and have respect for whatever someone is doing. On the other hand, sometimes I'm just not crazy about whatever I hear, and so I'm not interested. But being interested means liking what you hear and also respecting the voice of someone without, as I said at the beginning, I'm not interested in comparison. Comparing oneself to the other person doesn't make sense for me. Respecting the fact that someone has achieved to find his own voice, that's very respectable for me and very inspiring, because we are all on our separate way climbing this mountain, but I chose the left side, you chose the right side. But at the end, what are we doing? We're just climbing the mountain, trying to get better and improve along the way. And so when you see someone that has managed to climb some of that mountain, and you can only respect such a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then music is like it's a matter of taste. So of course there are things that I can listen to and I'm very happy, and some things I'm not. And should I give any names here?
No, you don't have to.
Thank you.
Yeah, so when I asked you to do this, you told me that you were in the studio mixing your new record. So what can
Oh, that's right.
people expect from that?
Oh, that's right. I was mixing a new record that I did with a guitar player from Belgium. His name is Konstantin Dujardin. So the album is already mixed, and it's going to be released in. It should be released in February. We have a release concert in Paris in February. We're going to have a few concerts in Belgium, and we are trying to build to add more concerts to it. And I'm very happy about this album. Especially harmonica seems to have this natural connection with the guitar.
Yeah.
And it's a duet, you know? So
is it the original compositions only?
Mainly original compositions from him and from me. Also, sometimes one or two songs that are maybe known already, not by us, like some sort of cover, but we always try to play them in our own original way.
Yeah.
For example, on this album is going to be the song "Goodbye Pork Pie Hat" by Charles Mingus.
Yeah.
Which is this.
That's kind of bluesy.
That's kind of bluesy. So we decided to play it, and I think it's very different from whatever has been done before. Not saying if it's any good or any bad, but it's different. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta send you a nice version of that song by a pianist. He passed away at a pretty young age, but he really got me into, I don't know, like opening up to other styles outside of jazz. Mm-hmm. And he was a prodigy, but yeah. That very video that I'm gonna send you, that was the last night of his life, and he played a show.
Oh,
and
no way.
He played an amazing solo, and I also like transcribed it on harmonica, and I remember even like playing it for my first audition at a music school. So I played that transcription of that Goodbye Pork Pie Hat solo.
Okay. Very interesting.
It's very cool. It also features a very cool bluesy double bass solo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that pianist was called Austin Peralta. He was from LA.
All right. Okay.
And also an amazing singer on that video. Yeah. Her name is Natasha Agrama, and I think her uncle is Stanley Clark.
Okay. I see.
So yeah, it's an amazing recording.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of historic in a sad way too. Yeah. But it's amazing music. Yeah.
Mm.
Very cool stuff. Yeah.
So how are we doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. I feel like an hour is really good. So how can people stay updated on all of your stuff and the CD? Like I put all the links to your social media and website below, but what's the best place?
Well, that's great. I'm mainly on Facebook, Instagram. That's mainly the way to follow me. There was a time when I used to update my website with all my concerts dates, but I got tired of it, of updating those concerts dates all the time.
Yeah.
And so now I just release them on the social networks. Whenever I have concerts coming, you're going to see some advertising for the shows, like the Belgian tour that I'm doing now. Or you're going to find out.
But if people are interested in the harmonica method, basically, they go to your website, right?
That's right.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So everybody out there can check that out. I actually don't know about the next Hohner Live. When's the next Hohner Live? Did I organize it already? I'm not sure. Oh, I did. November 9th.
You did.
But I don't know who it is. I didn't put it in my calendar. Who was it again? I got no idea. So yeah, I'm gonna let you know, guys.
Okay, maybe before leaving, let me maybe try to just play a little bit on a playback.
That's awesome.
I have a playback
yeah.
here. I don't just for the fun of it. I don't know if the playback is of good quality. It's just to play along. It's the song Triste by Antonio Carlos Jobim. I'm not gonna play the melody. I'm just gonna just improvise a little bit on there, if you don't mind.
That's awesome.
Okay. I hope the sound will be fine. Let me know. Can you hear? No. Okay. That's you were asking me about my practice sometimes. Sometimes that's what I do. Just put a backtrack and just sometimes try to play some fast lines. Sometimes, on the contrary, almost nothing. I like it when the playing can be very simple too.
Yeah, that also will show you the level of any player if you maybe tell them, how about you just play quarter notes over this?
Oh,
you know?
thank you for saying so. You know, you can make the music sound very well with almost nothing. Let's try again. See?
Exactly, yeah.
No need for lots of blah, 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 you know. Sometimes you should be able to play the most simple ideas. And anyway, well, thank you so much for...
That's a good takeaway. So yeah, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Check out Olivier on his social media platforms and check out his website if you're interested in the instruction material and lessons. You do give online lessons, right?
I do sometimes. Usually the people can order them on my website, and I do it whenever I have time. Right now it's a little bit busy for me to teach, but starting end of November and December, I will have more time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
Awesome. So, yeah, everybody out there, I'm going to keep you updated on that next Hohner Live. Have a nice evening, everyone, and bye-bye. Thank you, Olivier.
Thank you so much, Konstantin.